have it on Do Not Deter? Somebody just tried to call me in and it booted me out. It just booted me out. I'm gonna have to delete my messenger off of here, watch. Matter of fact, I'm gonna delete it right now. Alright, let's see. I don't know if this is the same video. Is this the same video? Now I'm gonna wait till everybody. Now I gotta wait because we had to. So that's gonna mess up my ass. Oh, thank you, babe. Huh? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, me and her was just looking at him the whole time. He was just right here while you were saying what you were saying. He seen the flag, and he looked back at me, and I'm looking at him, and he turned back around, looked again, and then walked up that way to his girl. And his girl made a drag look, and I'm like, listen, what's the nationality?
Y'all should have seen when they came here. They tried to get us to take down the flag.
Don't get it twisted, because we can get a pole and just stick it in the ground next time. We only gotta have it hanging. Who you talking to, Annette? Huh?
Well, he was arguing because he went up.
I'm waiting because somebody tried to call me on Messenger. Somebody tried to call me on Messenger and it booted me out the system. So I've been bull crapping, but now I had to delete Messenger because people just want to call me whenever randomly call me. So Messenger is deleted off of this tablet, so hopefully I will not get any more interruptions in this call, because I mean in this broadcast, because more y'all gotta know. First of all, y'all know on Saturdays and Sundays. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just giving it a second for people to upload and to get on the call. Oh, look at Mama in her white. I should have worn my white. Then we'd have been twins. We'd have been twins.
I tried to call you this week.
Looking good.
I left a message. Alright, well, it's like this, right? This Medicare thing may kick off. We got the first test in place. We're successful.
So I'm waiting for the boards to come on.
I was thinking about you.
Because somebody just booted us off. And this is like in the sun.
Oh, see.
I'm going to have to push you forward. I'm going to have to push you forward.
Put disability first.
Okay.
I'm going to push you forward. I'm going to have to move back a little bit. I have to move back.
Just throw it in the bag.
There we go. So the sun ain't burning up.
I didn't want to put it up there because then people would think it might.
So the sun ain't burning up my laptop. They don't be wanting to work. So I'm gonna wait, y'all, because we had a whole bunch of people on Facebook Live. So I'm gonna wait a couple of seconds before I get back into the thick of it. Oh, Islam, and just to let you know, I don't know if that was a hoax on Monday for the flag raising of the Temple Moors, but we circled. Yeah, it was Monday. You seen it? You was here? Oh, on Facebook you saw it. Okay. On Facebook he saw it just like I saw it. And we surveyed the perimeter. We looked all around the perimeter and it's not hanging there no more. The flag, the Moroccan flag's not up. You walked around it too? Looking for it? And then the lady, wasn't she in that video? Did you watch the video? Okay. Did anybody watch the video? Because the so-called councilwoman, last year when she was there, she had she was on crutches. And I think she was on crutches this time too, y'all. So I'm like, how's she still on crutches? That's a whole year ago. But I was like, I'm gonna validate that and watch the video again and see if I'm mistaken, if I'm wrong. That is the same dress. You gonna make me wear my dress. We gotta wear it together one day. How you doing, Fatima? How you doing, Tahir? Son and Tep2, who just about to say tiptoed. Yeah, people call you like Mr. Tiptoe your way out of stuff. Bring it. I'm gonna bang that. So I'm gonna wait, y'all. I'm gonna wait for a couple more minutes till we get back into it. What happens when you lean someone? We're not talking about questions. Is at the end of the broadcast, okay? So save your questions to the end because I'm building on something here that I want you to be able to overstep. Thank you. I was lost without my damn charger. Do you realize that this is the first time I opened this joint up and I can't even keep it up? It's about to die now. It's about to literally die. So, huh? How you got a charger?
I have a charger. You got this?
This was, huh? Oh, that's a
This too. Put it right in your computer. Is this right here?
Is over. I think they over on this side.
No, the small.
I'm not really using it though, so it ain't really necessary. I'll just turn it on.
Oh,
I just
see if it fits.
I'll just take.
See if it fits.
What?
Just to see if it works.
It's not gonna work because this side works. Oh. It might. I don't know.
I go to Starbucks and recharge it. See if it'll show up.
Is it on?
Yeah, 100%.
No, it's not working. There's probably not enough power.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Don't get me lying. Anyway, so where did we stop? I'm gonna read.
You gotta have power. You don't be shut off.
What is the tablet? The tablet's not gonna shut off. It's gonna be the laptop, and the laptop's just holding the tablet up. Could be the cord too. Huh? It's long. So let me read this again. How big is it? Let me see if I can find it. All right. Topic of class discussion since we got booted out. Moors, their whole fake courts are human trafficking corporations, and they use code, statutes, regulations, and ordinances to determine what they need from you as a creditor, executor, beneficiary, heirs to balance their books and settle their debt. And we need to know why they need you to balance their books and settle their debt. You need to know why they need you to balance their books and settle their debt. And that's a good question that I think I'm open to the floor. Why do they need you to balance their books and settle their debts as the creditors, executors, and beneficiaries you are? What are some questions? Why do they need you? What you eating? Why do they need you to settle their debt, y'all? Why they need y'all? Y'all need to know why all of this is happening. Why is it happening? Huh? Who did that? I can't hear you. You the people are the value. You're the creditor. Why are you the creditor? This is where we get deep. Ain't this the part where the teacher asks a question, you be like, look, mom, look. There's who? There's no money in circulation. What is the money? We're the money. Gold and silver's not the money. Cause gold and silver ain't been on. It ain't been here. Part of the Constitution. That's what it's supposed to be. But is that happening today? So what's the so-called money?
Labor.
How are they the money?
Labor.
Through labor, through energy, through us? How? How did, huh? Energy exerts electricity.
They're using that as collateral to collect the debt. They're responsible to pay back.
Okay, but how could, what gives up, what? You make faces that really drive me freaking batshit. Oh, that was what it was. All right, let's get back to, okay. Resources. When we think of, what? You about to go to the back of the room because you keep making these faces, drawing me right to talk to you. Huh?
I was going to say, we owe blood type and they need to zero out.
We owe blood type and they need to zero out the account. Okay. All right. If I had my board, I'd be able to really flow y'all. And y'all be like, yeah, I get it, Sharon. because it's visual. We are visual learners. To be told what to do, to be told is very difficult. That's why you have charts and everything, so you can have pictorials. If I had a network, man, y'all would be really, anyway, when you think about the birth certificate, social security card, so you think about that those two things taken together represent an account called the straw man account. Now that account was established fraudulently. All of it is fraudulent because you didn't give them access to do this stuff. But that never still, because mommy was ignorant, when that so-called birth certificate and social security card came in the mail, she started using it. And not only did she start using it, she was going to different corporations. Like, let's say, for instance, she needed to apply for health insurance. She thought she needed to apply for health insurance, even though her baby was born healthy. She needed to apply for health insurance. So she went down to a corporation that got established and said, look, we'll give you health insurance. You don't have to have anything. All you need to do is sign this contract, which is called an application, right? So mom, when you were a little witty bitty baby, and this was actually during the so-called wellness visits, this is all happening before the baby's even coming here. It's just once the baby gets here, now she's going to sign that baby's social security number, and that baby's, not even that baby's, the straw man's, because keep in mind, those are two different entities. One is a natural being, and the other one is a straw man, right? So when she goes to a health service, a health corporation, she signs a document, she puts the straw man on there by way through the nom de guerre name and the social security number, as well as the signature. So all they needed was name, which is why they always ask you that. What's the things they ask you? Name. What else do they ask you? Address. Well, address is involved. What else? Born date. Social security number. What else? What's the most important part on there? Because those are just how to identify the corporation, how to debit it, how to credit it, debit and credit it, right? So the next thing they ask for is an autograph. Autograph, because they need the authorized representative of that so-called straw man, because that's who you are. Because why are you the authorized representative of that straw man? Why are you the authorized representative of that straw man? Why are you the authorized representative of that straw man? Huh? Why are you the authorized representative of the straw man? Huh? Because you created it. You created the corporation and you didn't know that's what you did. Not you, your mama. Mama created it, and you've been running around as the authorized representative of that corporation, which will never be able to be established without your consent and your continued signing off for it, right? So what happens when you sign an application for health benefits for, let's say, Blue Cross? What does Blue Cross do? How? Because it ain't about just saying that. It's about knowing what they're doing. Huh? So when they get your application, that says one blaring thing. It says, I give you authorization to tap into this account and do what you want. You literally gave them authorization through, because you're the authorized. If that don't stop, all of a sudden, some people need to realize it's too hot for them to be outside. They need to stay the heck inside. Some people need to realize that. Say it again?
I'm not understanding. I'm trying to understand.
You're trying to comprehend.
Yes. This account, this statement, how do they have access to it and we don't? And where is it? And
That's what we talk about today, David.
And how do we access it instead of them accessing
That's what we're talking about today, baby.
I understand, but
You want me to?
I've been studying for a while. I just don't understand.
I know
that
it takes a while because it's building blocks.
Okay.
It's building blocks, and always realize that the grid is for you. They know what hell they doing. I ain't talking about let's say the Irish, or you know the low man on the low totem pole, the pawns that they use like for their so-called human trafficking corporations called police departments or sheriff's departments or code enforcers. We're not talking about them because they don't know nothing. Their job is to do what their jobs are to do, and they don't get those types of competency trainings to know what's really going on.
Right.
They don't know. Ignorance of the law does not give you an excuse for violating it. If it holds true to us, it holds true to them. But the point that I was trying to make was, if you're the authorized representative of that straw because you established it, even though they did the trickery creating it, they need you to get into it. They're blocked out if you don't authorize anything. That's why it's so important for them to create so many ways through code, statutes, and ordinances in what's the other ones? Code, statutes, ordinances, color of law to get you to sign so they can tap into your state because they're boxed out. They've racked up a whole lot of debt through those nom de guerre accounts, and that's where they use the accusant number. And I'm going to have a very detailed class that's because I'm still in the research phase, because I want to put this in layman's terms for you so you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. Why the so-called, I'm going to read it again. Accusant. What the hell? This is, I'm going to read it again. Moors, they're fake courts, color of law, are human trafficking corporations, and they use codes, statutes, regulations, and ordinances to determine what they need from you as a creditor, executor, beneficiary, and heirs to balance their books and settle their debt. So realize that whole infrastructure was created on fraud, so you don't want to grab a hold of a straw man that can never be touched. Why can't the straw man be touched, y'all?
It doesn't exist.
It don't exist. You said bankrupt? No, you don't try to fix it. Bankrupt. It's bankrupt, but it don't exist. So you're trying to capture something that don't even exist. You're the authorized representative of it because you had to have manifested for it to be created. Because what is it really doing? What is the straw man really doing? Is what? Say again. No, I'm being in layman's terms. What is it doing? What is the straw man doing that y'all want to do? Huh? Huh? Your straw man is administering your estate. So either the straw man gonna do it or you gonna do it, but you can't do it through the straw man because you are not the straw man. You're not the straw man. You're supposed to get rid of the straw man and be yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you don't need to authenticate a fraud. The authentication of it is the fact that you got a certificate of what you have, a certificate, and you got a social security card. That is all the so-called authenticating you need. You don't even need to authenticate it. The fact that you have it is proof that it exists. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? It's hot. So the point I'm trying to make, if you're the authorized representative, meaning it only exists because of you, and can't nobody mess with it unless you sign in contract with them, you already are administering your estate. Do you realize that? You're not getting a benefit from it because it's a system that was built to circumvent you. It wasn't built for you to get anything out of it, because the whole infrastructure was to hypothecate your estate and to take what's yours so they can have their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and pass on all their debt to you that they've established, but none of which they could do. Why you think the liens is hurting them so bad? Why is the liens hurting them so bad? Answer this question. Why is the liens hurting them so bad? Why?
You can't do anything without a company unless you take care of the lien.
That's partly, you can't do anything without it until you take care of the lien. I can't hear you. They have nothing to fall back on. How? Huh? Why can we lean and shut them down by one affidavit called a Universal Commercial Code Financing Statement? Why can we do that?
Because we're the creditor.
Because we're the creditor, we're sovereign. We're the creditors and we're the sovereigns.
And we got the secure party interest through the treaty.
And we got the secure party interest through the treaty. You getting there? And they wouldn't exist. If the straw man didn't exist, none of the corporations would exist either. So they're a yin-yang relationship. And if you've established it, you can also do what? Get rid of it. Do you realize how mad they are because of that? So they can sit here and try to sit here and act like, oh, I don't want to recognize you, or I don't do this, I don't do that. Because what is really running everything? Credit. Who got the credit? Who has the credit? Who's using the credit? So when you shut them down with a UCC1 lien, what that do? That take what? An A1 credit down to what? And what does the so-called debtors, or I'm sorry, the individuals who are holding the bonds and stuff, what are they doing? They say, oh, the Moors them need their ass. Let me go get my shit.
They start liquidating.
So even though it takes 90 days for the liens to mature, once they get witness, once the world sees that these liens is coming, they start taking their stuff immediately. Why? Why are they doing that, y'all? Why are they going and seizing up the stuff? Like the car conveyances, the domiciles, the businesses, the supplies, the resources. Why are they doing it, y'all? Why are they coming and seizing it back up? It's a real one specific reason they're doing this. You know. Huh? Who's the first party creditor? So who, yes, if we the first party credit holders, if we the first party secure creditors, can anybody else get anything? So all those so-called debts that never even existed or contracts, they ain't getting nothing. That's why they go run and take it less than 90 days. Because they like, wait a minute, if we don't get it now, we're not getting anything when that debt matures. So they start pulling out. That's just like if, let me put this in the layman's term. Say you owned Reebok. Oh no, I want to use something more specific. Why you gotta use Starbucks? Okay, say you own Starbucks. Let's say you own Starbucks, right? And Starbucks is operating, it's making finances, it's always in the red, because in the red is what? This is your debits and your credits, man. Your debits and your credits. What's a debit?
Debt.
What's a credit? Huh? A debt, you... A credit. So one is negative, one is alive, one is dead and alive. I'm just trying to get y'all to realize what's going on. So the point I'm saying is, if you own Starbucks and you always in the red, even though if you look at the books, they turn it around and make it seem like the debt is the credit and the credit is the debt, right? And even when I was in accounting, I'm like, that don't make no damn sense. This was always the issue that I had. 20 years in accounting, like, that don't even make sense, because the credit is supposed to be what increases you, not takes away. Credit increases, it doesn't take away. Debit decreases. And this is counting 101. Yes? Yeah, they got two books. Of course they got two books. But here's the point I need you to understand. What's y'all looking at? The point I need you to understand. This point right here. Starbucks has in order in the books, you got to be in the black. But technically, you're supposed to be in the red. So they flip it. Or they only show them one side of the book, right? So when you're doing debits and credits, you got assets minus liability equal what? This is 101. Most people don't know 101. Most people don't know 101. 101 is this. Your assets minus your liabilities equals your equity, right? Assets minus liabilities equals your equity, right? Resources minus contractual obligations equal what you got left. Let's say it in layman's terms, right? You're the creditors, so you're the asset. The liability is who? Who the liability? Yeah, they the liability. But who trying to claim the equity? I'm just saying. We're going to put this full circle because this is so simple. It really is. We just been educated and don't have erudite knowledge, which is what we're supposed to have. Erudition, erudite. Tell me which one, because he says erudite. Islam. So, I'm painting it because I don't have my board. If I had my board, you'd really know what I'm talking about. All right. Starbucks is in the black, which means it's liquid, even though it's supposed to be in the red. It's liquid. But once it gets to lean, what happens? Once it gets to lean, because it's liquid, so corporations under the stock market say what? I like that company. It's doing good. I'm looking at its liquidity. I'm looking at its assets minus liabilities equals owner's equity. I'm looking at its viability. I'm looking at how long it's been in the red versus been in the black. I'm doing all these things. I like that company. I want to add to it, become a shareholder, however, right? But we gotta look at Starbucks as being a corporation. But who owns Starbucks? Huh? Who owns Starbucks? Huh? Who are the shareholders? Are they? Who owns Starbucks? Huh? Magic Johnson owns Starbucks? But Magic Johnson is a nom de guerre. How Magic Johnson owns Starbucks? Who owns Starbucks? How was Starbucks established? Right. So the Moors own Starbucks, right? They are the owners. They are the creditors, executors of every corporation operating here at Morocco. Every last one. When Prophet Noble Jew Ali said you're wealthy, you're just plain wealthy, he wasn't being facetious. He was being actual factual. And because we're coming from enslavement and educational systems that only were supposed to teach you how to be a servant, you don't grasp that. They didn't teach you nothing. They didn't teach you etymology. They didn't even teach you real math, and they didn't really teach you finance. They have 2 to 3 websites called Fidelity.com and several others where they track your straw. They think it's their investment, but it's yours. You're the authorized representative. Right? So when Starbucks Starbucks got an A1 rating, meaning to have an A1 rating in corporate terms means you pay your bills and you pay them on time. That's what it means in the corporate world. So if you pay your bills and you pay it on time, you got an A1 credit, and you can verify that on the Dunes and Bradstreet. Because if you get an account on Dunes and Bradstreet, once I won't do, you'll see the viability of corporations, and you can tell based on the viability of corporations who got leaned or not, for real. Because once that lien, that A1 credit gone. It go from an A to a B to a C. Now ain't nobody lending you anything because everything is credit. Everything is credit. Ain't nothing actual factual money. It's credit, right? So when it goes down, now your suppliers won't give you a line to get resources. Now you gotta pay. Like, nah, you can't get no line of credit. You gotta get bread. But if you're living on a credit system, meaning you're paying as it comes in, because you can either be on a cash system or you can be on the accrual system, meaning you don't count something until you receive it, or you count something when it's promised. That's the difference. It's very simple. What point am I trying to make? When the credit rating goes down, they lose viability. People will not lend to them anymore. Therefore, they can't fill their shelves. Therefore, they can't pay their people, because now they're living on a serious so-called cash basis. So-called cash basis, right? What am I saying? So they had to come up with a system. How the hell do we keep getting signatures so we can keep getting access to this system? How do we keep getting signatures? How do we keep getting the authorized representatives that's running around acting like monkeys flying from trees? How do we get them to sign more consistently? How do we do that? What are some of the ways we do that? What are some of the ways they do that? Huh? Fear? But what's the fear? What backs the fear? Codes, ordinance, and codes, ordinance, regulations. So all those codes are attached with a number. And all those numbers, think about it in terms of inventory. If you got pencils, them pencils is going to have a specific number. And that specific number is going to let you know how much those pencils are in raw cost. Same too with codes and statutes. So say for instance, the nom de guerre Sharon Gale got codes and statutes for reckless endangerment. And then you list it down. So the more codes, the more finance they're trying to get out your estate. Can't get access to it unless you give it to them. And the access is through jurisdiction. So when they try to find a reason to bring you in, try to find any kind of reason to bring you in, it's because they want to balance their books. They ain't got nothing to do with no law. Ain't got nothing to do with you breaking or violating or injuring somebody. That's why when you sit here and go in there and say corpus delicti, where's the injured party? They looking at you like, I'm just trying to get some fiat. They ain't gonna say that. They gonna say, what's your name? You're waiving your right to an attorney? No, you can't. You have to get an attorney. Because what does an attorney do? What is the first duty of an attorney? So what? Jurisdiction. Right?
Make sure award of the court instead of the state. And you give up your title to the attorney.
Right.
He sells the title.
His job is to turn you over to the court.
And he gets a kickback.
His job is to turn you over to the corporation that gave him the license to do it. Do you see the ridiculousness of how we never even thought of these things? They're licensed by the same so-called corporate state that's violating you through the nom de guerre. And you think it's personal. It's not personal, it's business. You've been agreeing to be the business for 100 years. Stop agreeing to be the business, right? So all those codes add up to specific tickets. So guess what happens? They create that whole so-called ticket is a what? What is it? What is it? It's a who? It's a bill, but more importantly, it's a bond, right? They're trying to get somebody to buy the bond, right? And it's being, huh?
China buys the bond, and then China want to bring their army in to take over where they pay these bonds.
China can only take over nom de guerre's wards that are attached to whatever corporation that's insolvent. So let's take Pennsylvania Corporation. They got lean about 3, 4, 5 months ago, right? So now they're probably on the open market. Like, who's going to take this off of our hands? Who's going to take it? Whoever takes it is now your master if you are under that service corporation. Literally. Literally. And they start just taking stuff from you. Literally. How many people know of a person that is going through a so-called foreclosure, going through a so-called unlawful case through this human trafficking facility that y'all think is law and government? It ain't got nothing to do with that. And you need to call them what they are and do with what they're dealing with and realize that all you got to do is state the mantra jurisdiction and they can't touch nothing. But they're going to continue to say, oh, we're going to hold you in contempt. Well, they're in contempt. That's why you stand on the mantra, and that's why you do the grid. So the grid is for your salvation, so you know what's going on. Because the next phase is going to be, it builds. Just like when Moses was in the wilderness, he had to wait 2 generations. Y'all the generation of liberation. Literally, that's today. That's not 20 years ago. That's not 30 years ago. That's today. Their system is already gone. It's just right now, like, when you pull the stopper out of a drain, some shit down there stuck at the drain. What's the shit down there stuck at the drain? Those Negro colored and black motherfuckers, as well as those Albions claiming to be white persons stuck at the damn drain, trying to make that shit go down slow. Excuse my French. They stuck down there. Look what they doing while they stuck down there, drowning. But the water's still going down. Because guess what happens after a while? You get something, you start sticking them. Get the hell down that drain. That's what's going on right now. They got to pick a side. Either you want to swim to the top and get the hell out the water, or you're going to go down with the shit. It's all building. Don't get upset about words, because the words you think mean something that creates an emotional situation doesn't even mean what you think it means. So get some knowledge so we can stop getting in our feelings. Because grown people can deal with stuff. Babies get emotional about everything, including words. But you're not emotional about the human trafficking of your families, not your families, your tribes and heirs for 3 to 4 to 5 generations. So let's get out our feelings. So if what they're doing is human trafficking you, do they care about law? Do they care about Stare Decisis? What do they care about? Equity. What do they care about? You giving, as the authorized representative, giving them access to eat some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And to stay in the red, even though they try to act like blah blah. Say it again? There's only 2 people that's going to that's going to domicile here. Most nationals we have treaties with, and subjects. And subjects are those who don't have a nationality or a place that they can call home outside of here. So Albions that want to live under peace, under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, they got to get subject status. And just like the expatriation document says, we don't have no citizenship laws. There's no such thing as naturalization here. There's either you're a Amor or you're a subject. You're a Amor or you're a subject. Those are the 2 things that you have. Literally. And the people lost their status by doing what? How did the people lose their status? By doing what? Huh? By naturalizing. That whole system is like naturalizing into a system, like being orphaned in. Like they're orphaned into a corporate state that can't even naturalize you because they exist on paper. And this is part of the ignorance. And not ignorance or incompetence. It's not to say that you're this horrible person. It's just that you weren't raised to learn anything because of the systems that we went to that thought we've arrived, let's say. So we know those. So when you know that the human trafficking centers are looking to administer your estate or sell their books, what you do? What do you do? What is your remedy? You can't hear me? Oh, with all the noise? I know, it's all of a sudden like so noisy. It's a Sunday, right? You would think everybody be home making dinner or something and watching Simpsons. Don't the Simpsons come on Sundays? I'm just saying. So when you go into those tribunals, stop thinking that you're going to talk subject matter. Because subject matters are for subjects, and more than that, it ain't about their code, statute, and ordinances. That's all that they created to fool you into thinking one way when it's completely another way. That whole infrastructure, the entire infrastructure, were to steal your birthright and to steal your stuff and find a way to get you to be complicit in it. So when you say, my name is, my address is, here's my birth name, and you sign, well, you just gave them authorization. And they don't have to be fair to you because you've now admitted that you are cattle. Your property, and no nation and no law treats to you. So now they can just push you around like cattle, which is what they do. So we need to get out of our minds that you're gonna sit there and go in there and be like, well, based on PA code, and they looking at you like, either you're gonna be yourself or you're gonna be this ward, but you can't sit here and try to be both. You're a national talking codes and statutes. Well, based on civil procedures, you're supposed to have this by. Because you'll get a favorable reply, because all Albions and all Europeans are not your enemy. Some of them are happy to see you come out of the darkness. They're happy, some of them. That's the ones that give you a favorable reply, most likely are the ones that's happy to see you come out of the dark. Huh? They better pick the right side. There's only one side. They ain't got no side. The ones that are helping, the ones that in secret, because they are under a hegemony. They're under unum sanctum. They're under King Alfred plan. They're under all of that. They can't tell you out front, I dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. I don't have jurisdiction. They'll never, They took an oath. They're like, damned if they do, damned if they don't. But you gotta know the damn sign. And who know the sign? The Masons do. Huh? Yeah, but they put it in the movies and television. You don't know what it means. Some of them will call you into their private chambers and say, you're doing a great job. They're scared. Keep doing what you're doing. They're telling you. The articles is telling you too. Y'all think they're gonna sit here and say, oh my God, the Moors did another lien and killed 3, 4, 5 other corporations. Why they ain't gonna do that? Why are they not gonna do that to you? Why? Huh? Because then all of a sudden everybody wanna be a Moor, right? For the benefit. For the benefit, right? Not because they want to get out of slavery and stop enslaving their babies and all that. Probably because they want a damn, what's the popular cars? A Mercedes. It could be something basic like that. Because most people, I remember more saying, the people need to see. The people need to see. So I translate that to be, the people need to see the benefit to be a Moor before they start acting in that capacity. Well, if you need to see a benefit to be yourself, then how about you stay over there and play in the sandbox? Because they're not going to show you it. And they're not going to show it you on purpose. Because not only should the Asiatics get in here and be in solidarity with their brothers and sisters, they should be doing that just because they ain't living no luxurious life, but also because the Albion is violent. Because they do come from an animal. And as soon as we stop tiptoeing around that, you'll be all right. And realities are, you got to deal with everything. We created them. That's why they subject. They don't have a nationality. That's why they subject. They don't have status and standing. That's why they subject. Because a nigga is a what? A RH positive, blood type, huh? And we can sit here and keep playing about this all the time. Watch the Island of Dr. Monroe. They make a whole bunch of Frankenstein. They make a whole bunch of movies showing you that they were created in a lab. That's why they don't have descendability. That's why they don't have nationality. And that's why they're subject no matter what landmass they own. Don't matter which one. Huh? Yeah. Some of them have that. Slav. Yep. That's their pedigree. Well, descendability. What? What's it called? Slovakian Grill? Is that a restaurant? Have you eaten there yet? You might be eating. You might be eating your brother, shucks. Slave food, shucks. We've been eating a lot of that. When we was babies, Aneb he's just so higher in the. I don't eat that type of stuff. Where you go? I was looking under the Fidelity website. I was looking at the Fidelity website, and if you put the straw man, not the straw man, if you put the yeah, but the QSIP number is not the so-called the born name or the birth certificate number and the social security number. And then they translate that because they knew the Moors was going to wake up, so they didn't want to make it so obvious. So there's a CUSIP number that is attached to those two things. You gotta find out what that CUSIP number is, and then you'll find out how much they getting out of your estate. And that would be like, for instance, I looked up somebody's, and that was 47 million a day. A day. 47 million. Depending on if you are heiress or a son or your pedigree, it does determine, has a factor. And keep in mind, we're talking about just credit. You just got credit, and those numbers really don't mean much. All of it is. Where'd he go? Where'd Mr. Man go? Sure you want me to be drinking that milk? Am I about to die? So I can tell. The social without the dashes? I'm doing the research on it, so I'll be able to wrap this up. And I think the next class we might have, I don't know. I don't want to have no class on Saturday, because we have the Sharifian peace officer training on Saturdays now. I don't know if y'all aware, huh? The Sharifian peace officer training, that's on Saturday, 7 p.m. So make sure everybody knows that they're on free conference. Say it again. Oh, the Sharifian peace officer training is on Saturday, 7 p.m. free conference call. So don't forget that. Again, if you want to be a Sharif peace, say that one more time. Yeah. Until, like, right now we're in, you be making these faces that be priceless. He be making these faces. He be like, I be like, what is going on? He was thinking about something. I don't know what it was, but anyway, the Sharifian peace officers training is on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eventually, once we finish the preliminaries, it'll go offline in regards to training within those particular territories, because we have to kind of get to the point where the original training is going to be on getting your grids done and knowing the supreme laws of the land, as well as the t-shirts, having the t-shirts. Like I said, they're going to look like these. They're going to have the seals on the arms, and on the back it's going to say Sharifian peace officers. So those are going to be the t-shirts for all Moors, and I implore all Moors to be Sharifian peace officer volunteers everywhere. I think everybody should be that, because we're going to move towards that secure and defending and protecting our estate. Part of that 7 p.m. though, part of that is we talked about it roughly in our class on Saturday, which the recording's only going to be available to people who volunteer. It ain't open for everybody to just be, y'all like to just listen and hear things all the time, but the action piece y'all really a little lazy on. So only people that's going to have access to the recording will be people who actually volunteer, and that's in regards to securing, protecting, and defending. Because why are they able to continue to kick our people out? Why are they able to do that? Why they feel so, well, they ain't comfortable doing it now, but why at one point in certain areas they feel comfortable to do that? One, we're not moving as a nation, and we're not being there to support and defend one another. And that's the biggest piece. That's for BLW camps. That's for tribunals. That's for so-called evictions. They don't have lawful jurisdiction or status or standing to be attempting to kick anybody out of their domicile. And that's where the repossession pieces are coming in. But we got to make sure the Moors are at a specific 7 p.m. Dawood. The Moors are at a specific level of competency, because they need to be securing and protecting them things. But there is due process and administrative procedures, and that is doing tier 1, which is nationality, tier 2, which is getting your private estate established, tier 3, which is the right to travel piece. Then you got 4, 5, 6, 7, and one of those, I think 7, is repossessions. You should be already in the process of tiling up property, doing the repossessions on properties, and giving them 30 days to get out of their domiciles. Well, the domiciles they're squatting in. Because everything they've been doing has been squatting at this point. And now they're mad and they're scared, and who cares? What sense does it make to be on somebody else's land and think that you're going to continue to violate the people? That doesn't even make sense. Keep in mind, they came here in the 1800s through Ellis Island. They came here in 1800 through Ellis Island to hypothecate. They never came here for any other reasons than to hypothecate. So stop thinking that they came over here to be all free and all this other nonsense. They came over here to continue the doctrine, the unum sanctum, and to still. Yeah, that's exactly why they built the military-industrial complex. But guess half of the people that's freaking over there fighting us. We over there fighting our brothers and sisters all over the damn world. We're so-called policy enforcers in these facilities, throwing our own people out. We're part of so-called sheriff's offices. Huh? We got to separate. We got to unify among each other and separate from this dogmatic and this colonial mindset that our people are suffering from. To enforce the Constitution. Huh? Fourth or the fifth, right? Because we fourth. Because he knew the first three, just like Moses knew those first three. They had to kind of wait till they died off, and that's crazy, right? And the one thing I noticed is the beacon lights of every so-called tribe is usually what? The babies. It seems like the babies is the ones that got the juice. It's that generation coming in. What is that noise? Can't stop, won't stop, as Balloon would say. So do we have any questions? Was this a good show? Did we get enough of the information out? Or does everybody want more and more and more? And now's the time to ask questions. Now you can ask questions. You gotta inflect. You gotta inflect your voice so I can hear you.
Is there any truth to your owning your social security number? Can they find out your race just from your number?
Race, first of all, it's only one race. It's only one race.
Yeah, but I mean,
Can they find out if you're what, Asiatic or Albion? Based on the research, they say those numbering systems are unique to one, who owns that straw, two, where it is, what oh goodness, the corporation that owns it, and some other identifier, the so-called state that establishes it, I think. But don't get me the line, I'm still doing the research on it. Just know they're in the system too, let's say, but they're not profitable. They don't have no estate to move. Their so-called wealth is through you. They don't have their own wealth. They're subjects. Subjects don't have no equity, let's say, for the lack of a better word. So they have a social security and a so-called birth certificate number. Birth certificate, but it ain't. They can't put it on the market and do nothing with it, because what's really being administered is the estate. And if the estate is the Moors, where does Albions fit in on that?
okay. I'll just have one more question. Like you talk about how we have the subject. Okay, you remember Black Wall Street?
Say this.
A little military, but they couldn't.
Who?
Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was defeated because they didn't have the military to protect their investments.
Black Wall Street was defeated because they called themselves blacks, and they still was trying to not be themselves. It was because, let me tell you, if they was kicking more science back then, they wouldn't have been defeated. Y'all look at guns and weapons and all this other stuff as an indication of strength and power. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's illusion. Keep in mind, Africa is a corporation also. That name is a corporation. People claiming to be Africans is a corporation.
Let's get past that. But military to protect your investment, or you're gonna have people just come in and take.
In a government, who protects the people? What does who represents a government? And so who's going to secure the government? They don't do it.
No, they haven't been taught to.
In actuality, what I'm saying is, if black people are going to do very well financially,
They got to stop being black people.
okay, well,
Like
what do you put?
No, we're in yours.
Okay, the boards, right? You have to have a military to protect your investment. You can listen, you can play ball, you can
Ain't nobody praying.
because they're going to say what you have. If you look at every nation that's covered, they have the military to protect their...
So do we. We got a military too. We got a military. They waiting for you. They waiting for you and they waiting for us.
In 1754, when Franklin founded the United States Service Corporation, okay, there was a service to the Republic with 19 enumerated powers. One of those 19 enumerated powers under Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution is the military. That's our stuff. So stop. We can't think like we're thinking right now because that's our military. Our problem is that we jumped into the United States under their jurisdiction looking for jobs from the terrorism that was put upon us because they distracted us from the actual situation of who we are, and we fell for it. That's what happened.
Islam.
So you caught into it. That's why you're talking like you're talking.
Now,
Islam.
free simply because they fought. They had a military to make sure...
Who?
The free black men were never enslaved because they fought for what they believed in.
They were black men enslaved. What they believed in.
I tried.
Right.
Yeah, but see, that's not happening today. We're just not committed to that.
Here we are.
You don't have to fight. You don't have to fight.
Yeah, but see, all we got to talk about is another person who is not getting
Sir, this is the start of the earth is not in the loop. We're moving right now. Sir, it's not.
Let me say something. Name one black.
We're not black.
Listen, okay, listen. Okay, wait, let me say something. Let me just say this. Black, okay, listen. Name one Moorish hotel
The Marriott. The Trump Towers. The Holiday Inn. The Motel 6. Red Roof. Every last one is yours.
Yeah, but that's...
Let me say this.
Listen, I'm on your side, but I want to let you know.
Wait a minute. Here's the first question. Here's the first question. Here's the first question. What's your name? Here's the first question. Tiger, stop. Here's the first question. Here's the first question. Here's the first question. What's your name? Say it again. Randall? Randall what? You got to get on the grid. You got to get on the grid.
You know what name means in law? You know what name means in law, sir? Asiatic, black can't be both. You can't be Asiatic and dead at the same time. Really, you're only Asiatic, black man. So you can't be identification.
First of all, black is only 400 years old.
What's your nationality? What's your nationality?
American what?
Huh?
American and dead?
Now keep in mind, American is also a corporation. So you got to qualify it. Believe? No, we don't believe here. There's no beliefs here. There's knowledge here.
Your identification don't look like this, sir. You got some study.
Okay, here, let me show you. Let me give you some history. No, I just want to say, Department of Justice, U.S. Department of Justice, okay, you remember the United States.
It's funny.
Okay, in there, Title 18 U.S.C. Section 1028, in the U.S. Department of Justice, go on the website, all right, they say no nationality when you use something except. I'm doing nationality. The one is biological history at university. But this is the nationality. I'm telling you.
Say it again. You don't gotta build a nation, it's already here. You just gotta be a part of it.
Right. You have to have a nationality to build a nation.
I want to build a serious nation. Africa, you know, our brothers in Africa, we have some.
Well, them over in Africa, they gotta stop calling themselves African. Let's start there.
Brother, we need to unite with Africa. That's the thing. And everybody else is taking out.
This is Africa.
This is Northwest Africa.
That's we all on the same page. You know what I'm saying? But I want to get there.
You gotta stop saying, oh, yeah, we're going to get there. Because we're really not there. That's a compliment. We're not this. To build a nation, we have to have nationality.
It should take another 400 years.
It ain't gonna take it for us, but it might take it for some blacks.
We're right here. Stay around on that a little bit. Like, oh, stay around on that.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Yeah.
So it's
When he dismissed, I'm thinking back off the dismissal, right? It says here.
Let me show y'all what's going on over here. I don't know if you can see. Hiya, Nab. My hands is in the way? They still in the way? Are they? How?
He just shows you, right? He just shows you, right? Or the
Look at the twins.
means by which an individual establishes identity.
What's in your wallet?
These documents are my nationality, driver's license, personal identification card. Those are subservient to a nationality card, right? So you have to have a nationality first in order to build a nation. We have a nation. We have a nation. You just been in all that. Like most of
I'm not in law.
No,
Most of us have. Most of us have.
Listen, brother, I buy blacks. I deal with black people.
But hey, listen.
I know you say you're not black.
Can I ask you something, bro? Can I ask you something? What name is it all? Designation of an individual person, a firm or corporation.
That's the name.
So it's talking about a fictitious person.
But you keep saying black, okay?
Right.
Black is void without
Black is what?
void without color.
So also black is
What you say? What color? You can mix melanin and people. Sir? No. Sir? No. Color's not real.
Hey,
Oh, listen.
Color's a seven.
See, I just want to get there. Before I was Negro, right?
Let me tell you.
Okay, now, you know what was black. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things.
You're not getting to the promised land until you accept and declare and proclaim your nationality. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Ain't nothing to even debate about.
Listen.
Nothing to debate about. Every Sunday.
Go to the race and ethnicity classification, Social Security, right? They give you a classification. You're classified as black because that box that was checked. The mother chose black.
And you enforce it every day.
That said black. Right? African American. You're an African American. Oh, same thing.
Same thing. If it ain't nationality, it's the same thing.
Right. We're black, man.
It don't mean it, what you say matters, not what you think it means or what you want it to mean.
I know what
What they're trying to say in a nutshell, everything you think you know, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. You don't know everything. But you sit here, but think about it here. You don't know it all, but we gotta literally listen to me. You have to write down everything you think you know, rip it up and burn it. Because it ain't gonna help you, and it ain't never helped you since. Because to identify as a Negro, colored, or black person, you own nothing, Not the glasses you got on right now, the helmet you got on, that shirt, those pants, or that bike. You don't own nothing. Right? Lanus Domino Bay said,
The Crown Empire. The Bar Association.
Lanus, here we go. Guess what? You gonna sit your little butt down now. We done talking to you, all right? You gotta, or you, yeah, there you go. One or the other. Islam. Yup, there you go. At least you're gonna call it what it is. You're gonna call it what it is.
They know what it is.
I will be remembered that I'm with my children right now.
They declare and proclaim their nationality. Stop talking so much and listen.
What's up, cuz? Listen, I appreciate that, cuz. I love you, man. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call you after I'm done here. That's what's up.
Yes, bring your lady, cause and next time be ready to nationalize, cause we don't talk to black people. We ain't got time. You better come here to nationalize. All right? Just saying. I don't get into all that. I don't got to debate with somebody who ain't got no status of standing in law, and I ain't never gonna do it. And I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. We passed the point of sitting here justifying and letting the Negro colors. Y'all got to get in where y'all fit in. y'all gotta stop sitting here and being so busy with life, and you ain't even living it. Ain't not a black person living life. They all subjugated, and at one point, so too were we. And declaring and proclaiming your nationality and getting on the grid should be your utmost responsibility. So even though we got plantations to go to until we realize how to administer our own estate, get your grid done. And the first part of the grid is declaring and proclaiming your nationality. That's the first part of the grid, y'all. And you got to also realize everything that you know is wrong, it's false, and it's a lie.
Teach your slave to jump, and slave gonna defend it jumping.
Gonna defend it all the way. As Taj Tariq Bey would say, we so arrogant in our ignorance. We're so arrogant in our ignorance, and we try to justify it. And there is no justification. There's no belief systems here. There's no ideologies here. It's just law, culture, heritage, and nobility, for the lack of a better word. So we're gonna get off this live feed. If there are no questions, we're off this live feed. Because it's hot and we're going to go chill. We're going to go chill. We're going to go chill. And we're going to go into deeper as I wanted to read something to y'all. Let me read it. Because I thought this was very, very interesting. I was reading this book. I don't know if you can see it right. Nomum Stamp. Yeah, it's backwards. Let me put it on the other side. Well, I'm not going to go through all that. This book right here is called Nomen Substantivum. Nomum Substantivum. You can get this off of the RB Bay Publications website, or you can order it off of that website. And this is in regards to correcting your name, choosing your attribute, by RB Bay Publications, Taj Tariq Bey, and Nord Natural El Bay. And this book, I'm not quite finished, but it was one part of the book that I thought was very, very interesting. Actually, it was a bunch of parts of this book that I found very, very interesting, but it was just this one. Generations of natural people have been and are suffering from colonial-initiated miseducation, grooming by oppressive inquisition, biases, and color of government often causes displays of insecurity, which is why they are combative with you when they learn the truth, trepidation, and fears when the subject matter of name correction is brought up. Many adults are convinced that the foreign U.S. demo pseudo-government is omnipotent, unaware that only a Republican form of government was established for the United States of America, Republic. What chance at reasoning would their children have to recognize misrepresentation? Can't recognize it. If mommy ain't teach it, child is defenseless to even try. The U.S. deemed pseudo-government persons being the source of such misrepresentations are de facto a fraud and unconstitutional. Other adults being made conscious of their rights, having taken on the ambient qualities as would be displayed by young boys and girls, showing a lack of self-confidence and voided sense of self-authority. So this socially anomaly makes for an interesting study of mental slavery and human oppression. I wanted to just read that real quick because you want to sit here and have a debate. There's nothing to debate about. We're not going to debate with individuals who haven't declared or proclaimed their nationality, because like I said, everything you think you know, write that stuff down, ball it up in a piece of paper and burn it, because you don't know anything. And don't get mad about it, just fix it. Just go from education to knowledge. Education to knowledge. And don't debate with us, because we've taken that step of action and thinking more appropriate as human beings and not as cattle property. So we're going to end on that note, like I said. Yes, in order to get the Sharifian peace officers meeting minutes from Saturday night, you have to send Sharon Tracey Gale email to 610-803-1170. In that text message, send me your photo, send me your MAC number, your appellation, your mailing location, email address, phone number, t-shirt size. I'm going to say it again. Send Sharon Tracey Gale a text message at 610. What's that? Oh, y'all gonna tell me I got stuff on my face. 610-803-1170. That's 610-803-1170. Text me a photo, your appellation, your MAC number, your mailing location, your email address, your phone number, and your t-shirt size. And then I will send you the recording. Islam, Pax at Amor, be on the next class next Saturday. And if you want to volunteer, send me that information. Same information I told you to text me. Send me that information so I can log you on the grid. This is enforcement. We're going towards enforcement of our commands. And in order for you to be a self-sustaining government, and you have to be able to protect, defend, and secure that. And that's what the Sharifian peace officers is all about. So again, the classes are 7 o'clock on Saturday. Send me a text message if you want the recordings for last Saturday. That phone number is 610-803-1170. Put Sharifian, a peace officer, your appellation, your MAC number, your mailing location, your email address, your phone number, and your t-shirt size in order to get that. Like I keep saying, this ain't for play. Sharon ain't got time for people who want to sit here and debate. We're past debate. They debated in the 50s, they debated in the 60s, they debated in the 70s, they debated in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. We ain't debating. We're just bringing the government up, doing our piece, and y'all get in where y'all fit in. Y'all want to sit here behind a tree until it's all done, and then think you're going to sneak your little butts in line? It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm just telling you. Y'all going to be in the back of the damn line. Because everything that we're telling you to do is building. It's like putting pieces on the puzzle. You're putting pieces on the puzzle of our government. It's all building to the next phase. The phase you should be focusing on right now, all Moors, I don't care how you align yourself. I don't give a darn what tribes you belong to, what organizations, if you're in those incorporated Moor science temples that just were leaned, you are leaned. You're leaned because you're a corporation. And you're leaned because you're a corporation, and I can do it because you were established through that Nam de Gear. Know that. So we're not playing games. And the flag got taken down. I don't even think that stuff was real on the 15th. I'm a little mad about that.
Brother wanted to give him testimony.
Oh, my question?
Yes.
This is my question all the time. This is going to be my question every week. Like I asked you a couple of weeks ago. It's unfortunate because, coming into information, it really shocked me. For somebody that does not know anything, and being a so-called black person, they don't realize how much we've been tricked. I mean, they know we've been tricked, but they don't know to what degree. All right. So I've been to temples. I wanted to mingle with my people. I wanted to go and be and feel. And I felt it to a degree. I felt the love. But then I got a major question that I ask them all. My question is like, this information has been available for the better part of 100 years.
This information has been available for about a part of 100 years.
Listen, we've been getting our ass whooped.
We've been getting our butts whipped. I'm just trying to make sure you can hear what he's saying. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn it around. See if
by the police, okay? Arrested, taken to jail. I've had people come into the house and try to take my children away from me, right? Okay? So now my thing is, listen, this has been available for 100 years. And I feel betrayed by the Moorish science temples because they've been holding this shit for the longest time. You feel me? They've been, I got my ass, we've been harassed. You understand
kicked out of domiciles.
I feel this shit right now. I'm angry.
Yes.
And my question is, where have you been? Where the fuck y'all been at, man? Where you been when I was being harassed? When they tried to take my children? When listen, just driving down here, I watched brothers get pulled out of their fucking car, right? I've had, like I told a nib, I said, listen, I've had Jehovah Witness, Christians, Buddhists, they knock on my door. I've never seen a fucking fez yet. I'm choked up right now. I've never seen it. Nobody has explained to me.
Nobody's seen it.
They've been watching and waiting. So listen, call me one of the motherfucking rogue Moors, okay? I'll be rogue, all right? I'm not in the temple, but our people need to know this shit.
I'm rogue.
Yesterday.
I'm rogue.
Yesterday. We need to know this shit a long fucking time ago, all right? And for them to sit and watch this shit go down, it's a fucking shame. Excuse my language, it's a shame. I'm angry. I'm mad, and I hope the fuck y'all are too. Blame them. Look, blame them. Blame them. Blame them motherfuckers, man. Blame them. What's up, brother? I'm mad, man. I'm mad as hell. So I asked the question. I've asked the question, and they can't give me no good answers, man. They don't ever give me no good answers, man.
I'll give you an answer.
I was told because there's not enough feathers on the street.
I'll give you an answer.
That shit don't make no fucking sense.
Know you Ali. What's the brother's name?
Huh?
What's your appellation?
Ezekiel.
Know Ali predicted, even in the morning, saying the Moors going to come out from the street. I'm from the street. You're from the street. This is what's going on.
I'm mad.
He said it, but don't be mad. Take that as experience. Take that energy and focus on what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Because he said this is what's going to happen. Okay, this is what's going on.
Listen, I tell you what. I'm not mad at the Albions.
No, I'm talking about
my thing is this. I did the math on the history. I understand because we fell, because we didn't stand correctly, and we did do this to these people, right? We did this first, right? So I'm not mad. So if you have an enemy, right, and you get a foothold on him, you don't never let that motherfucker out. So that's what's been done to us, right? So the information been around 100 years. We didn't have to go through this. We didn't have to go through none of this.
But knowing this, know this one. Just like I utilized the Moses situation on purpose. Because in this book that I read about Moses, it was the life of Moses during his life under the Egyptians, as well as once he was free from the Egyptians and he was working for his own people. One of the things he realized is that there are those among you wearing turbans of feathers whose job is to keep you in this.
Of course, yeah.
Not only is it their job to keep you in this, you also have Moriscos. Moriscos are who? All the Negro, colored, and black people sitting here being a party to this fraud. So not only do you have the temples that incorporated themselves and took an oath, took hush money or fiat, whatever you want to call it, to not teach civics. All they teach is dogmatic religion in those temples, treating the Prophet Noble Jew Ali as if he's like Jesus, like a figurehead. They have it's like a Moorish version of Christianity, almost, for the lack of a better word. They sit here and feel as though that it's kind of also like the Wakandian effect, but they ain't no Wakandians, because if you watch what's it called, Black Panther, they were living in utopia, while the whole rest of us was out there getting our butts kicked, our asses kicked, right? Are the Moorish Science Temple members living in that utopia? No. Their buildings look worse than any, like how Verizon got a skyscraper and the temple is a house. The Moorish Science Temple is a house, or if it's on a block, you won't even notice it unless you know exactly where it's at.
Right.
Because they don't promote it. They took hush money a long time ago,
I mean,
and we're
that's
talking
clear.
100 years ago. So now we're talking about the what generation? 4 generations in, at least 4 generations in the temples, giving you dogmatic. So through those years, they've lost a lot of the knowledge. They don't have no knowledge.
So
They're looking to us, the Moorish Science Temple, the Moorish American Consulate, the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, to assist them because their children are in POW camps. They got licenses, registrations, and proof of insurance, even though they got these so-called naturalization cards.
So the Prophet was the first to bring Islam to America the second
The
time.
Prophet wasn't necessarily the first, but he was the one who was able to get the patent back, the land back. He was the one who was able to get the stuff done. But he was dealing with a people that were so corrupt because they were like first generation or second generation outside of slavery. So if they first generation, second generation outside of slavery, that just like with Moses, he was dealing with people who just wanted, even though they wanted freedom, they didn't know what it meant to be free. Just like how they were so used to working every day of their life and being taken care of to a degree, when they got out in the wilderness, they didn't know how to do nothing. So it's kind of the same thing. They relied on Moses to do everything. And when Moses couldn't do something, or when they were complaining and crying, even though they were seeing the miracles.
Right.
They were seeing all the miracles of what Moses was doing, what God was doing through Moses, right? With the every day it rained for the food for them substances. They still complained, even though coming from the sky was their sustenance, but they were complaining. Like birds landing right there for you. They ain't running. You ain't even gotta fight them. They gonna literally let you kill them and eat them. We're talking about people who were so messed up. So messed up. They got the signs and sigils all over the place and they can't see it. Don't got the eyes to see, don't got the mouths to speak, or the ears to listen. Dealing with the same thing today.
My sister, she's very she's Afrocentric.
They be looking for it. They looking for their nationality. They just ain't accepting it because this is work. It's work. But ain't your babies worth it? I think they are.
Listen, I fight the opposition, man. I got a spirit that just is completely rebellious, man.
It ain't rebellious. You sitting here looking at something that's not making sense.
When I found out when I was up against, this shit ain't no fucking option for me.
It ain't no option.
It ain't no option, man.
Nope.
And all along we sat and watched these slave movies and would have said, I would, I should, I could. That's really me, man. I'm not with this shit right here. I'm not with it. And if it's ours, we need to be taken.
Yep.
It needs to be taken. So I'm going to arm myself as much as I possibly can.
And it ain't taken because you can't take something that is yours. It's revenued.
Yeah, kick them out, whatever the fuck we have to do, man.
It's long.
As much as I can, man.
It's long.
As much as I can, because I'm tired of this, man.
It's long.
And any black leader, anybody standing talking about that black shit, talking about road more, all that, man, they need to fall, man. I'm not, listen, I'm not, and let me state for the record, I'm not meaning to be violent, but this is my feeling. And of course, when I'm feeling and carrying on as my person, as I am, I should be humble and not angry, but I am angry and I'm emotional when it comes to my
It is because you realize why you've been going through all the stuff you've been going through and why you've been victimizing. It's because everybody sold you out. It's not a happy place to be. It's really not. But you got to go through the exorcism. You got to go through the exorcism of the fear, the exorcism of the anger. You're gonna go through that. Oh, here it is, about. So we're gonna get off this live feed because it's hot, and I think everybody wants to relax. Probably jump in the water fountain. I know I want to jump in the water fountain. Roll around. Hot. Packs up to more people. Peace and love. So now, this never lets me do anything. Continue.